Take a look at this 8,000 right here. I mean, you can see the reflection of the light already. Over here, you cannot see anything. That is brilliant. Why you gotta come out here when I'm about to record? You just want to see. I'm doing the intro. All right. What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Paint Society, the channel where you learn in the comments and you learn in the videos as well. Well, we got an awesome video today, another review coming to you right now, so let's get started. Okay, so today's video is going to feature the 3M buffing system. Now, the 3M buffing system is fairly new. We've been using it for over 6 months. Before we used it, we had a 3M rep come right out, demonstrate the whole process. I'm going to give you the same exact demonstration that he gave us. With 3M, everything is clean, clean, clean. So let's talk about what we have here before we actually use it on the car. The pads that they give for this process is a 8-inch, and then this is purple. It's like a polished type of compound. You got a 6-inch for control, and then you have the 4-inch, and you can use that on your little Makita. Which is good for getting in small areas. So this system, you only use these pads. Now, on lighter colors, they're saying that you'll get away with just this pad, but on the darker colors, you want to finish it up with this, okay? So what they recommend is you start with a 2,000 grit first, you move on to a 3,000 trizact, and then you move on to an 8,000 trizact. Now, if you want to throw 5,000 in between, that's fine. They also suggest using the 3M prep pad, which is kind of like a soft cushion, and then following it up with the interface pad. So the only thing that you're going to have to do, which we're going to show you, is 2,000, 3,000, 8,000 polish. This is the polish compound. Actually, it's not a compound, it's just a polish. It's purple, so everything matches. 2 types of buffers you can use, the Milwaukee, which is good for smaller stuff, but we all prefer something a little bit bigger for a hood. That's going to need a little bit more strength to pull out those scratches, even from 8,000. So, car's over there, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I want to do before we hit up the buffing is, I just want to protect all this area from getting compound, and Mario's going to help me out with that. So we're just going to put some tape down and then put some paper down, kind of as if we were almost going to paint it again. And this is going to help with easy cleanup. Pull the paper off and be done. Okay, so before we get started, I want to show you kind of, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but we got some dirt, and it's a little bit peely, so I don't really think that they're gonna see the peel, but we can at least show them the process of how to do this. So yeah. Okay, so the first thing I did is actually went ahead and I sprayed the whole hood with liquid ice. This stuff smells amazing, kind of why we use it. And now that I know the hood is clean, what you want to do is I'm going to just cut off my areas in the middle. I'm not going to do the whole entire hood, just my areas I really need to, and let the 2,000 grit do the work. It will cut it. Be patient. If you have a clean surface and clean paper, it will cut. So what you want to do is come here. You can see closely, if you look, the little amounts of peel that's in there. And then what they want to do is you want to wipe it off, keep it clean. So what the 2,000 grit's going to help it do is it's going to cut out the tops of the peel and any dirt. And this is the most important step because 3,000 to 8,000 only going to refine that scratch. That's all it's going to do. So let me get the rest of the hood sanded, and then we'll bring it back for 3,000. Okay, so what we have here is 2,000 grit sanded. Now, I will say that the clear was very hard. We've been sitting in the sun for a couple days, so I did need to hit it up with 1,500 and without that interface pad, just to kind of open up the clear just a hair. But now that it's all good to go, I went over the whole thing with 2,000, so I'll blow it off now. And what I like to do in between buffing is I use that quick detailer and kind of just clean up any of the residue that's left inside of these sand scratches. It just makes for a nicer finish. Always turning that microfiber over. Okay, so we're ready to move on to our next step now, and we're going to use a little bit of water. So this area is going to get quite messy. So let's put some paper over here just to protect the front of that. Okay, so I'm locked and loaded with my 3000 on the interface pad and on the prepping pad, and this pad right here is going to take away the scratch. It's going to leave for a smoother finish. So pretty much I want to be as liberal as I can with the water. I want to make sure this is cleaned off. Anything that gets stuck in this pad is going to transfer right over to the actual finish. So I like to just squirt this first, get that cleaned up, let that drip off. And then you're going to be very slow with this. Let the paper do the work, okay? Don't apply too much pressure or else it's not going to be moving. It's going to go nice even strokes. Okay, so what I want to demonstrate to you guys is I'm going to do half the hood only, show you what 3000 then 8000 looks like before buff, so you can kind of see how it starts to take a shine. Now this is all 3000, and right there in the middle this is just that 2000. So you see it's already starting to take that shine. What this means is less buffing for us, time saver 100%. So let's do 8000 and watch what 8000 does. It's pretty amazing. Okay, so take a look at this 8000 right here. I mean, you can see the reflection of the light already. Over here, you cannot see anything. That is brilliant. 8000, 2000. And, you know, not only are you saving your time, but you're also saving what it's going to look like down the road, okay, which is very, very important. I mean, just looking at this, it almost looks buffed. Amazing. So let's do the 3000, 8000 to the other side, get this all in 8000, and let's do a little buff. So we got our whole hood in 8000. Man, it's got a shine to it already, if you can already see that. Really amazing. So now we're ready for our buffing pad, which is the 8-inch. Now this all is purple, even the polish compound, the one-step is purple. They call it the perfected one-step finishing material. So this is I believe this is called a spade or a spader. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, it's a brush. It cleans off the pad. That way you don't have any crusties from the original job that had dried up, and it's a smoother pad. So we're ready to apply, and I'm going to work in small sections. Typically what I like to do is divide the hood into 4 sections. So I'll do section A, B, C, D, and then I'll go over the whole entire thing. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to show you section A. We're going to see how easy it polishes in real time, and then we'll hit up the time lapse and buff the rest of it. Okay, so you can see kind of what it looks like, give or take. I'm sure it already looks like it's been polished on camera. And I like to do dots because it doesn't splatter too much, kind of like a grid. So as I move on, I'm catching a little bit as I go. And I like to give it just a spritz. That keeps the polish wet and consistent, because you always want to keep it wet while polishing. And I'll just kind of come over it, work it in, and then I'm just going over it. Doesn't take much. I'm set up to around 900 RPM, not too much, but you want to use that friction from the pad to create that heat to bring that shine up. Okay, so that is in real time. I'll give it a wipe. All right, and as you can tell, it is pretty much all polished up, and that is going to be just as good as it gets for a light metallic job just like this. Now, if you're looking for a quick tip on black cars, I'm going to show you one right now. If you get yourself some wax and grease remover, this is going to simulate the car being through the wash a few times, and it's going to pull any of those fillers out, because naturally all products have fillers. We try to limit as much as you can when they create these actual products. So you're going to put this on the car, wax and grease remover, you're going to wipe it off, and that's going to pull everything off, and it's going to show you exactly where you need to buff, and you can use that sun gun to show it to you as well. So the whole purpose behind this is to, you know, use less heat, use less friction, use less time on the actual panel. That way you have less swirls. So let's get the rest of it buffed. Wax and grease remover, gonna remove any of those fillers, and then I'll take the sun gun and see what it looks like and see any spots I missed, although it's going to be pretty difficult on a light color like this. All right, so what that sun gun's going to do is just highlight. Kind of got to look at the side of the sun gun, not directly in it. If you look right into it, obviously it's going to be bright, but if you kind of look to the surrounding areas, you might catch a stray scratch, 8,000 scratch that you missed, but I gotta say it's looking pretty good. Okay, so in final review, we just got done buffing, and you know, is it a true one-step system? Well, you know, for the most part it is. If you had a darker color, you're gonna want to follow it up with the blue, and this stuff is really, really good. It's gonna help take away that marring, any streaking, something like that. And for as quick as it takes to do it, it's not really an extra step. I mean, it's just very, very subtle. Couple quick tips. If you find yourself going back to one to remove scratches, you're doing it wrong. That means that you have not effectively used the 8,000. Either you haven't spent enough time, you haven't refined your 2,000 enough, or you're using an old paper that's not really doing too much for you. So, with that said, you shouldn't really need this at all, okay? So my final thoughts, guys, you know, working with 3M products every day, they're great products. There's other great products as well. There's no direct affiliation with 3M and myself, just using their products and helping myself out. Productivity is number one. I hate buffing, and anything that they can release or anyone can release to make buffing easier, I'm going to take a look at it. We've been using it for over 6 months now, and you know, not only does it make ordering easier, you're only going to order one thing, but you know, buffing is a breeze now. So I'm going to let you guys take a look at the hood. I hope this helps. I'll try to link all the part numbers if I can, or put a description in the description box. If you want to cop some merch, go over to paint.society, paint.society at yahoo.com. Support your boy if you learned something from the video. I'm going to show you what it looks like in just a moment. I just want to remind you guys, hey, listen, don't overthink it, all right? All this stuff is just paint. That's all it is, all right? And you can learn from me, and you can learn from the guys in the comments, and everyone else that's involved with this channel. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. Let's check it out, and I'll see you on the next one.